our choir hand. Give yourself a hand. We're in large numbers today. We want to thank you. Give the preachers a hand on the altar. All of our preachers, and certainly to our moderator, Dr. Stone, and to Pastor Emeritus Word. Do I call Calvin Coleman deacon or preacher or aspiring preacher? Aspiring preacher, what is it? He's good, I know that. He's good. It's good to share these moments together in a high-spirited meeting where the Lord is present. Great things are being done in the Lord's name. I'm certainly grateful that you were here today and that we have an opportunity to share in this first anniversary celebration. To the honoree and the honoree's family, mother too, I see. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That is a blessing, a very special blessing. Whenever you can carry your mother to be where you preach, that's good. I had that luxury for about 7 years, and then the Lord changed things. So that is a special blessing when you are able to have your mother, even when your parents, to be around and preach. I am grateful for the introduction. It is a reckless thing to have that word introduced. It's kind of that. It's kind of that. But it is reckless. He's a dear brother in the Lord. Been that way for a long time. We've enjoyed many occasions and many happy times, and certainly and some heavy times as well. And the Lord was the Lord's blessing. All right. Thank the Lord for our ushers who are here. Now that's dedication when you got a wing in one sling. Standing up. I told her this morning she's standing up with one wing and trying to get something out of it. That means you love your job. Love your job. It's dedication. And I thank you for doing that. She's been out for some number of weeks now. But the first time she comes back, this is the first time she comes back on the job. And that's been all two of the other ushers are faithful as well. Certainly good to have my wife here. Came in, I was looking for her, and I didn't see her out in the pews. I thought I'd left her at the church. Well, she was riding somebody. Notice, if you would, Ephesians chapter 6. As Paul closes his letter to the church at Ephesus, he penned these words, beginning with verse number 18. Ephesians 6, 18 through 20. I'm reading from the Living Bible. Pray all the time. Ask God for anything in line with the Holy Spirit's wishes. Plead with Him, reminding Him of your needs, and keep praying earnestly for all Christians everywhere. Verse 19, pray for me too. And ask God to give me the right words as I boldly tell others about the Lord. And as I explain to them that his salvation is for the Gentiles too. I am in chains now for preaching this message from God. But pray that I will keep on speaking out boldly for him even in prison, as I should. Thus ends the reading. I want you to think on this thought. A preacher's request. A preacher's request. Apostle Paul finds himself in a Roman prison cell, or in his hired house in Rome. And he writes to the church at Ephesus. He writes back to a place where he had a school and had ministered for a number of years. But now he finds himself in Rome, in jail. And he writes back to the church for one request. Well, one request with many points to it. And that is, I want you to pray for me. Reverend Pouchet, as this year comes to a close, you're not in a Roman prison cell, but you're in a black church. You're in a black church with some Negroes in it. And that says you need some prayer. Anytime you get that kind of combination, it automatically means that you stand in need of prayer. Apostle Paul, in his letter to the church, first prayed for the church. And whenever you get to praying for the church, he says, pray for everybody. Don't just pray for the deacon board, just don't pray for the preachers in the pulpit, just don't pray for those who are in leadership, but pray for everybody. For everybody stands in need of prayer. Then Apostle Paul asked for prayer for himself. And whenever you get to asking for prayer for yourself, he did not ask for prayer from just anybody. He asked for prayer from the church. I just come to tell you that you don't need everybody praying for you. Some folk don't know what to tell God you need. So if you want somebody to pray for you, ask the church. Somebody whom the choir says is not ashamed because they've been redeemed. And whenever the redeemed start praying for you, God's going to answer somebody's prayer. So Apostle Paul says, I want you to pray for me, that the Lord might give me utterance. You might think that Apostle Paul did not need to have any other additional wordage for his preaching. For Apostle Paul was a PhD of his day. He was highly trained in the Jewish law. And he had had a conversion experience with Jesus.